Welcome to Knoxville, Tennessee, where we kick off Week 18 of the USL League One regular season. It's one Knoxville SC taking on the Spokane Velocity at Regal Soccer Stadium, a first ever meeting between these two sides. Alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Jack Edwards in the broadcast booth here on CBS Sports Galazo. The standings brought to you by PYA and the USL League One. Big points on hand today.
And do you think we'll start with the visiting side of Spokane Velocity, a team that's picked up 8 points away from home, so Lee Biederman knows exactly what they want to do on both sides of the ball, Jack. And for one, Knoxville coming off an inspired win, sets up for an intriguing matchup.
Still getting used to the tweak at the top. Mark McKeever mutually agreeing to part ways with the club back on August the 15th. Here are the stats for the side in 2023 and in 2024. Great defensively, tied for second last year, best this year. But scoring the goals, Ricky tied for last year. Last match, the first under new interim man, Ilya Illich. They scored 4 goals against Chattanooga. He comes in now, moving from assistant to interim coach.
A bit of a coach bump from this one Knoxville side, and as he was a player for this club as well, you get the ability to relate to the players. You give them a platform to express themselves and be those game changers high up the field. Score 4 times, the most time that Knoxville has scored in their young history. I expect this team to be full of confidence.
He also played under Mark McKeever at Young Harris College between 2011 to 2014. His first stint in the United States. He comes in now as the interim man, and he'll be coaching a new forward they signed back in July. He scored his first goal, Stavros Zerokostas did last time against Chattanooga, trying to build off that.
Exactly. Confidence is everything for a striker. A goal and assist last time out, but I do want to talk about his positioning. You want him to stay high. You want him to occupy the 2 center backs. And the question for the home side is, what is a service like into Zerokostas, and how confident can he be in front of net?
Let's talk about Spokane now. Their last match in the league coming back on August the 7th. That was on the road at Chattanooga, eking out a 1-0 win on the road.
Again, if you're Lee Biederman, you look at this film and you take points from this performance, how you want to be the box defending, compacting your structure, but also higher up the field. Andre Lewis needs to be very good at finding the back of the net yet again.
And a player to watch for the visitors, Luis Heel, 4 goals, 4 assists. They lead Spokane in both of those numbers.
Just pure quality. The ability to produce individual brilliance can beat you 1v1, can beat you through combination play. I do think if you're Spokane Velocity, you want Luis Heel to get on the ball early and often. He needs to be the best player on the field for the visiting side if they have any hopes of stealing all 3 points.
Just 22 league games in 2024. The points becoming that much more important, and it's a first ever meeting between these two sides in Knoxville. Some tweaks in the lineups from their last match for both of these teams to tell you about, and on the other side of this break, we'll have lineups and first half kickoff between one Knoxville and Spokane Velocity.
The other day, my daughter was like, "Dad, what happened to the internet? It's so fast." For the first time in years, it's like, we connected.
What?
The KUB Fiber Effect. See when it's coming to you at KUB.org.
The all-new Volkswagen ID4 SUV is truly something to behold. On the outside, clean aerodynamic lines. On the inside, plenty of room with a spacious, comfortable cabin. It will transform how you think about electric cars. Now available at Harper Volkswagen and at harpervolkswagen.com.
players are taking the field at Regal Soccer Stadium. One Knoxville and Spokane both sitting in playoff position right now. A big 3 points in a first ever meeting between these two sides. Jack Edwards and Ricky Lopez-Espin here in the broadcast booth with you. Let's show you the lineups. First off, for the home side, brought to you by KUB Fiber. After that 4-1 win, only the one change. Frank Ross coming in for Rudy Castro.
And he needs to be very good and clever at his positioning underneath Zaracostas. Tequila playing the left-hand side. We might see him come centrally, but my eyes go to the center, the two in the center of the park. Haugley and Johnson, how good can they be at getting comfortable, at dictating tempo, and playing this game at the speed that Ilya Ilic wants to play here at home?
Campus Tequila, 2 goals last game, 7 goals in the season, a big threat for Spokane. Here is their lineup. Coming off a 3-1 defeat in their last match in the Jägermeister Cup, they make 6 changes, including the net. Brooks Thompson comes in for Carlos Morancio.
4-2-3-1 for Lee Wiedemann. I do think that front four, how good can they be at expressing themselves? Dahling, you want him to stay high, to occupy the center backs. It all comes down to number 10 and number 77. Andre Lewis, Luis Gil, the ability to produce that little bit of individual brilliance. Those players need to be early and active on the ball for the visiting side.
KUB Fiber also bringing you the Spokane lineup right there as we have the lineups for the two teams. One Knoxville and the Spokane Velocity. You see Campus Tequila there, mentioned his 7 goals. It's a team lead in that number. Joined in the attack now by Stavros Zaracostas. After playing with the Charleston Battery in 2020 and 2021, spent time in Finland and in Greece, and now he's back here in the United States playing for One Knoxville, making a 2nd start consecutively after that goal and assist against Chattanooga. You see Spokane there, 8 points on the road so far this season. Ricky, it's going to be a challenge against Knoxville. Defensively, a very strong side in USL League One.
Knoxville is a side that's only conceded 10 times, and that's something that Lee Wiedemann mentioned on our phone call. Look, they're organized. We need to be on the ball. We need to be very clean when we have the ball circulation to make that defensive unit shift from left to right. And when those gaps open up, how quickly can Spokane play in between the lines and play vertical?
Second match under the interim man, Ilya Ilic. Olivin Oliva is the head official for our match today. Mentioned it multiple times already, but a first ever meeting. Last year, Knoxville, their inaugural season in USL League One. Spokane, the new team on the block in 2024, trying to make the playoffs in their first ever season. 7th in the standings right now, trying to chase down 5th placed One Knoxville. And the white kits are One Knoxville. They'll be heading from right to left across your screen, kicking us off. And the Blacks, Spokane, heading from left to right. Jack Edwards, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you. Delighted to share this match here on CBS Sports Golazo. Danny Fernandez scoring from the penalty spot. Last time out in this left center back position. It looks to be about a 3-5-2 shape at the early going. Carrying it forward, Ross slides it in. The box, Tequila the target for that pass from Stuart Ritchie. Spokane goes to that first defensive moment and clears it upfield.
It does seem like Ross will play as a number 10 for One Knoxville. So defensively for Chom and Denton, what does that look like in terms of passing players off in the balance in between lines for Lee Wiedemann's side?
Joan moves to the far side. Derek Waldeck, first time saying his name, returning against his former side, made 30 appearances in 2023 with One Knoxville in their inaugural season. Who make the move up to Spokane, helping them in their inaugural season just a year later. Two-time NCAA champion at Stanford. He's a very dependable crosser of the ball from that left back position. He's occupying almost as a left winger right now. Is Knox will win it back, but in doing so committing the foul, Zaracostas fouling Joan. Longmire.
Interesting, Jack. We've seen already 2 minutes in this Spokane side build out in a 3-back system. So now you afford Morel and Waldeck the ability to push a little bit higher and create overloads on wide parts of the field. Jome drops back with Lodge and Longmire. Bit of a tactical change from Lee Wiedemann's side.
Here is Waldeck, one of those fullbacks that has been pushed forward, as you mentioned, Ricky. Denton. Early possession for Spokane. Lofted forward, aiming for Waldeck. He'll bring it down. Has an option in heel centrally. Also Doling. Now Heel, a great turn into the box. An important challenge coming from behind. No shot. They do get a corner from that move.
Fantastic bit of spacing. First it starts with Heel making the run from a deep lying position, and that throws off the whole back line for One Knox. As they're retreating, Dahling understands if I come centrally, I can have a nice little pocket of space. Nice heel. Just so clever to let this drop his shoulder. Get on the shoulder of it. Hernandez does just enough to push it wide.
First corner of the match for either team, and Waldeck will go from left to right, take this in-swinging corner from the near side after Fernandez, the important late challenge to put it out of play. Here's Waldeck. Delivery into the 6-yard box, pushed away. Jome can chase it down, has Denton alongside. Delivery into the box, also repelled. Lewis, heel. The nutmeg on his pass, gets into the box, the turn on the shot. First save made by Sean Lewis. In the end, tame from Longmire, deals with it there. Sean Lewis, dependable as ever, the 2023 Golden Glove winner in League One, made 85 saves, called into his first one in the match here today. Pushed upfield, Sarah-Costas trying to drop off. Appeals for both teams. Last touching Spokane will be a Knoxville throw-in. Big announcement this week for One Knoxville. Doing their home matches in 2025. We see the turn again from Longmire at the new Knoxville Multi-Use Stadium. Also going to be the home for minor league baseball's Knoxville Smokies, but last season here at Regal Soccer Stadium before they make the move across town. Other side in the USL ecosystem, building new stadiums, new venues. Very big move for them.
It's going to do a world of good for One Knoxville, having a place to call their own. Talk about the growth of USL. Super League has came into play as well. League One, Championship. Hats off to everyone as they continue to grow this game in our country.
Mentioned the Super League, Spokane Zephyr selling out their inaugural home match last Saturday. Big moment, as they've now got 2 USL sides up in the Northwest. In the midfield, played down. It's Johnson in the midfield. Ross, one-on-one with the fullback, has Richie with him. Will opt not to use him. Clipped into the box, it got through one. Haugley gets ahead to it. That's a big header, bit of a risk on the top of the 18-yard box. The shot from distance, oh, that one goes just wide. Brooks Thompson quite calm on that shot. James Thomas had some space. He lined one up. It goes just wide of goal.
About 6 minutes in, you just see the freedom for Ross to go and just search the game. We've seen him play centrally. Now he pops off to this left-hand side and just causes all sorts of issues for this Spokane side. Longmire, you need to be really careful. You're coming over the back of Tequila there.
Foul for you, Ricky?
I think it would have been harsh, but still a bit rash from the center back. You always run the risk, and this is some hit from Thomas, excuse me. Unable to put it on target. It's been a good start for both sides, exchanging blows.
Played up the far side, aiming for Waldeck. That's going to be a foul, a late challenge in the midfield. There are some appeals from those in Knoxville colors. Maybe should have been a yellow card there. Last match for Knoxville, mentioned that 4-1 win against Chattanooga. 2 of those goals coming from the penalty spot. That was the first major moment for Olvin Oliva to have to watch over, obviously opting not to call anything after Longmire won the header. Jordan Skelton coming over, talking to the referee after Sarah-Costas. Other end of this tough challenge.
It's that left arm on Jome. I can get him in trouble.
Sango Akale making appearance number 6 in the USL League One season. 2 goals, 2 assists. Signing back in June for Spokane. Dealing with a fair bit of injury issues. 5 players listed on the injury report unavailable for the match here today. So things to think about early on. Back to his feet, Sarah-Costas. Sarah-Costas off the field after that heavy challenge. Jalen Chrysler gets his back rolling. Mentioned that Chattanooga match. Referee playing a big role in that. 2 penalties, 2 red cards for Chattanooga as well. They finished the match with 9 men, a 4-1 game. shortage of drama the last time they lined up here at Regal Stadium. Lofts it forward. Zaracostas sprinting. Again, one-on-one with Jome. Center back prevails. His pass forward, though, only finding James Thomas. Johnson. Ritchie trying to climb for that. Goes over his head, out of play for a throw-in. Ritchie playing on this left wing back role. Appearance number 14. He's coming in from Columbus Crew 2 in 2023. Year number 3 for him as a pro. Important off-season addition. Goal and 2 assists for the wing back. Throw in for Knoxville on this near side. Lewis to offer it back forward. Mentioned Heel in the open. 8 goals combined across all competitions. 4 of those coming in the Jägermeister Cup. It was a big offseason acquisition from Union Omaha after making 40 appearances, winning that Players' Shield back in 2023. Very important for the inaugural sides, their first season, to have players of Heel's caliber.
So much what Spokane wants to do going forward comes through his feet and his ability to create and bring players into the game.
Zaracostas got a foot in, but Jome able to chase it down, keep it in right at the end line, and may have been a bit of a risky choice. In the end, concedes the corner kick, and it's the first of the match now for Knoxville.
And we're seeing this one Knoxville side where Zaracostas make those runs and really test the shape of Jome. A bit casual as he recovers that first ball. Takes that horizontal touch and goes over the end line, and now affords the home side for a dangerous free corner kick here in the early parts of this match.
Early on against Chattanooga, they tried a short corner technique. It allowed Tequila to get a shot on that top right corner of the box after a corner from the far side. This delivery put it into the near post. Not able to find a Knoxville head, flicked along, but Haugley is still on it, trying to bring it down in the box, plays it up to Johnson. Ritchie stands it up into the box. Strong header away. Spokane survived that threat. Now a chance on the break potentially. Important challenge coming across from Ritchie, beating Lewis to the ball.
And you just see how explosive Spokane can be at turning their defense into offense. So now if you're Ilya Illich and this one Knoxville side, rest defense is going to be really important. You always want to have a +1 when you're out of possession. Do not want to make this a transitional meet with how direct Spokane can be on their front line.
Ross. Here's Ritchie. Merrill just a slight bump in the shoulder as he played that one along. Tequila, a clever flick. Here's Ritchie now. Good defensive work by Heel to come across. Long ball forward. Aiming for Thomas. Keeps it in play and does very well to earn another corner kick. That one coming out of almost nothing, just a switch across the field, and the wing back going forward in Thomas, helping to earn a second corner in quick succession. Lee Wiedemann, first season at the helm for Spokane. Watching on for his side as they make their first ever trip up to Knoxville. Tequila again. Corner kick delivery all the way to the back post, going through everybody. Ritchie able to chase it down. Referee made a glance to the far side. Assistant referee saying it stayed in play. Knoxville a chance to reset here potentially. Lewis, Merrill. Lewis with the outside of the foot, moving it along to Jome. Waldeck working their way around the Knoxville press with a bit of ease. Important challenge, tracking back, stops that threat there for Spokane.
Just need to be a little bit quicker if you're Spokane. Like you said, Jack, you can find success when you change your point of attack, but each needs to be a little bit more decisive.
Driving into the box, clipped forward, heel. Important intervention by Haugley, tracking back, just blocked off the channel. No shot attempted there.
Exactly the player that Lee Wiedemann wants to get on the ball. Akale Really good 1v1. And as he requires so much attention, now that frees up space for a secondary runner. Give credit to Haugli, sees it the whole way. Just gets the right body position of Heel.
Here's Fernandez. Important pass into the midfield. Move it along Johnson. Thomas scooped forward. Lewis letting it run across his body. Again, Ricky, that speed is not quite there in these transition moments. Both teams feeling each other out in these first 13.5 minutes. Doling running into the channel and a long ball over the top. Heel made a run along that back line. It's played back to Merrill. Jome, Waldeck. Good run through the midfield. Challenge from the back line. Heel picks up the loose ball, plays it to Akale from distance, has a go. Lewis parries. Fernandez clears. They deal with that threat. Shot on target from distance. Heel again. Spokane picked up the loose ball, but they turn it over. Haugli plays it forward. Quick play with Zarakostas. Big challenge by Merrill in the midfield. That one was a little late. Again, the referee playing advantage. Haugli down in a lot of pain. Zarakostas loses out to Heel, and in trying to win it back, does commit the foul. Two players down now. Heel for the visitors, Haugli for the hosts. Foul going against Knoxville. 15
minutes in, it's very prevalent to see who's going to impose their identity in the center part of this field and who's going to dictate tempo. That's going to be the team that's likely going to take all 3 points. Whether it is Haugli and Johnson for Knoxville, we've seen Andre Lewis and Benton for Spokane been really active as well. Because as they drop in deep, now you pull both center midfielders out, and that's when you have that little slip ball into Doling. And that's a rash challenge for Merrill. He catches Haugli. One back the other way, and Zarakostas takes out Luis Heel.
Back underway after the free kick for Spokane. No yellow cards for either side in that interaction. Merrill can't bring it down. It was a bit of a heavy challenge by the wing back in the midfield. May have been a little fortunate to get away with that. Merrill acquired in August. Far side, Waldeck. Slides it forward, Doling dropping off that back line, stepping in to make a challenge. Johnson.
As Josh Doling drops in to be part of the build-out phase, now you're asking your colleague to make that vertical run, because so many times Skelton and Chrysler are following him. So as they step out, that leaves a big gaping hole going back the other way, and that comes onto this man's responsibility, the ability to coverage those two. Needs to be quick to rotate over and quick to recognize the unbalance of his teammates.
How different is the job for a forward against a back three versus a back four when you have 3 center backs versus the usual 2?
I think now you need to be a little bit more selfless in your work rate if you're Josh Doling. Make those runs towards the corner flag to open up a secondary run.
Here's Ross, a low delivery in the box. It's a great finish, and it's a great save by Thompson. Tequila coming onto it with the left foot. Got it on frame. A clever idea, but it's saved by the goalkeeper.
And yet again, it's Ross. The ability to create something out of nothing, but as he pulls wide, requires so much attention. This is one of your 3 center backs. Towards a corner flag, and it's a really clever run from Tequila. Lage never sees him at the last second, gets on the blind side. Really difficult technique to get your hips around, to find that near post. Good save from Thompson.
It's the 3rd corner now of the first half for Kempis Tequila, right after his shot on target. Curled into the box. Clearance goes high rather than away. Second try will push it further upfield. Heel can try and scoop it forward. Thompson called into action. Loney from Hartford. He's got experience of being a League One champion back in 2023 with North Carolina. He had 15 appearances in their run to the title game, which they eventually won against Charlotte. Ross. Again, the creative center of this side. Tequila moves it along to Richie. Puts a touch out in front of him, skips past another with the right foot, playing into the box. Could have had a go there. Ricky opts for the selfless choice. They get a throw in the end.
You do all the hard work if you are Richie here. Cut inside, why not have a go? A bit unselfish, the wing back here.
Johnson. Here is Richie. Haugley. Bit of space now in the box for Zaracostas, driving it towards the end line. Good challenge, claimed now by Thompson after Jack Denton tracking back. Made an important challenge.
Just need to be a little bit more compacted. You are Spokane. Too many times you're getting spread out. And that's why you start to see the success for one Knoxville to play in between the lines. It's your center midfielder dropping deep into your 18-yard box. There needs to be one of the center backs stepping over and providing coverage.
Denton. Lodge. Longmire striding forward from the defense. Doling has heel. Got Merrill to his right. Actually, he was offsides, the fullback was. Not able to keep his run. Oliva, our head official. Through 20 minutes. Not a ton of major controversy. Maybe a half a thought for a challenge by Ahmed Longmire. Tempest Tequila in the box. Still 10 league matches to play for Spokane. Just 12 games played so far. 18 points from that. Trying to make it to the playoffs. Both of these teams searching for a first ever playoff berth in USL League One. Knoxville finishing just off in their inaugural season in 2023. Wins from 13 games as that switch of play goes over the head of Frank Ross. Johnson wanted that throw to go his side's way. Second-year midfielder now, made 30 appearances, had 3 goals in 2023, has 3 assists on this campaign. Doling, clever bit of footwork, but only finds a white jersey. Richie. Haugley, Johnson. Lewis presses. Important challenge by Johnson, and it bounces to Tequila. Now it's Ross again. Been very creative in our first 21 minutes. Lays it off for Richie. What can he dig out here? Across into the box. Thompson doesn't claim it. At the back post, Waldeck can scrape it away, but that was almost a moment of danger. And now on the other end, Spokane, maybe a chance to stretch the legs. It's Akale. Would have been a challenge to win that foot race all the way along. Has 2 options on the right-hand side. Back to Akale. Scooped forward, aiming for heel, but Fernandez gets ahead to it.
See the frustration from Josh Doling. Not once, but 2 times Akale misses the change of a point of attack. You need to play it into your striker or Luis Heel. 2 players make that fantastic weak-sided run, especially with a side in one Knoxville that's just so good defensively. They like to squeeze you to one side of the field and try to force turnover, so changing the point of attack is going to be the top priority for Spokane.
Good combination play between Richie and Ross. Ross onto the right foot, trying to keep the run going. He's brought down, top of the box. It will be a free kick in a very good shooting position. Frank Ross proving to be a ton to handle in the early stages for Spokane.
Rewarding his manager to get the nod. They'll start here. My tendency always wants to come to this left-hand side because now he has the ability to go to the byline, but also cut centrally. And this touch right there to create a little bit of separation between him and Denton. on Meyer the slightest of contact, but he's going to go down. He's clever. Wins a really dangerous set piece for one Knoxville. We're fantastic distance to go up and over the wall and really ask questions of Thompson.
Ross, very influential first few moments. Hand off the free kick duties to his teammates. Right foot Thomas, left foot Tequila. 5 in the wall in black. It'll be Thomas with the right foot, the curler. Had a lot of bend on it, but not a great starting position.
Really difficult from Thomas. If you need to go to the goalkeeper's side, you need to smack it. You need to hit it with your laces and hope that he cheats, but give credit to Thompson as well. Trust his wall. No step to his right side whatsoever. Sees it go wide.
Denton. The spin in the midfield. Merrill. Bit of a poor touch and allows Fernandez to step in.
Over the last 5 minutes, Spokane has been a bit sloppy in possession, whether it's their decision making, but also just not clean enough in their technical ability to retain possession.
Haugley moves it far side. Ritchie. Ross again. Left-footed, clipped into the box. Thompson able to step forward and claim. Lewis again. Just past the halfway mark of our first half between these sides. Not a major chance yet for either team to write home about. 3 shots for Knoxville, 2 shots for Spokane, both of those being on target and testing Sean Lewis in between the pipes for Knoxville.
You also just see how deep Andre Lewis and Jack Denton are both playing. About 20 yards between the two of them. You need to be on different planes if you're playing with a double pivot for Lee Wiedemann. One provides the support right there, and that's a forward Andre Lewis to push a little bit higher. But if you do play deep, now you're baiting this one Knoxville side, and this pass is going to be open the whole entire way. The problem is they're just not connecting it. Josh Dowling hasn't been good enough at holding up the ball, but also Wings Heel and Akali just not connected enough underneath them to provide support.
An interesting chess match between these two sides. Trying to bait out that press with these center backs. Move up from there. Haugley. Ritchie. Sliding it forward. Thomas holding a higher position, or rather Zarakostas dropping in. Skelton. Now it's Thomas. Ball did go out of play on the far side. Knoxville throw in. Kale a few moments in these opening stages. These two sides focus beginning to shift almost entirely. Back to that in a moment. The clip from distance. Lewis off his line. How about that? The ambition. Sean Lewis tracking back. Wasn't tested on target, but that wasn't too far away.
Just a bit sloppy from Chrysler. Tries to play in a central location. Louis Hill says thank you very much. Audacious from the experienced player. He has Lewis beat. I mean, he puts it on target, just a bit too heavy on it. And that's the type of player that Louis Hill is. Very cheeky, always, that's a great ball.
What a ball forward. Picks out the run being made by Zarakostas, now in the box, onto the right foot to the end line, keeps it across. Will it set up for Tequila on the goal line? He'll knock it home in the end. In the right place at the right time for the 8th goal of the season in the USL League One for Kempis Tequila.
Won't get credited with the assist, but Stuart Ritchie, this is a fantastic ball. Takes about 7 players out of the game. And now it lets your attacking players go out and express themselves. As he cuts to the byline, he brings 2 players with him, Zerakostas. And Tequila gets denied once. Second bite at the apple. Player with that quality will never miss from about 6 yards out. Bit of a chaos between Waldeck. Ball goes over the end line, off to the corner to celebrate. Knoxville, clinical in front of net, take the early lead here at home.
May have crossed that first time. You were wondering would there be a big choice to make for the assistant on the far side, but he stayed with it, didn't run off to celebrate too soon, able to tap it home. Probably the easiest goal he'll score all season. It's his 8th in League One. He goes now to be joint 2nd in the league with Liam McKinnon of Greenville. Still chasing down JC Obregon Jr. of Charlotte with a league-leading 10.
But give credit to Zerakostas as well. Understanding as I get in beyond the line for Spokane, the composure to pick my head up and to let the play develop. So many times when players get in that situation, they just want to smack the ball across into a dangerous area. As he slows it down, now you afford the players around you to come and join you. The result of it, Knoxville get the early lead here.
You could see the play developing though when Zerakostas made that run along the back line. Ritchie was able to get there. Skelton wins that. And Knoxville move forward again. Score first for a 2nd consecutive match. Not quite as early as their 4th-minute goal that Tequila scored against Chattanooga last time. They led by as much as 3-0 in the first half. Talking to Ilya Illich ahead of this match, spoke that the big focus, the big mental side of that match against Chattanooga was just the emotional element they had. Mark McKeever obviously parting ways with the club just days prior. There was a lot to process. They didn't really have a chance to before that match. The emotions were high. The result was great. And in the moment since, more time to process and really gear up for the final stretch of the season. And a great start at home against Spokane. Thomas throws it in. Here's Lewis. Gets it across to Akale on the far side. Gets it onto the right foot. Again, pass 2, lays it off. Heel, top of the box. His shot through a sea of players. Wu will set up for Fernandez, and he's able to push it away for Knoxville. Free kick going against Spokane. Knoxville free kick to come here in a moment.
Talked about it earlier. You give Andre Lewis the ability to go forward. Now you play on different planes in the center part of the field, and you let your players high up the field go 1v1 where they're their best for Lee Wiedemann. But as this ball rotates over, Luis Hill needs to hit this first time. Does not have the luxury to take a secondary touch. Just watch how quickly every player for Knox closes down the angle. Good defending yet again.
Here's Zerakostas. Loses out under the challenge of multiple for Spokane. How much do you change if you're Spokane? They have sat in a little bit here, keeping the numbers deeper, trying to punch forward on the break. Now you're down a goal. When do you begin to maybe change that mentality a bit, knowing you got to chase the game?
I think if you're Lee Wiedemann, you look at that last action and say, we need to continue to do that. So I would drop Denton a bit deeper, let Andre Lewis play a line higher. So now, a result of that, Luis Hill will get more involved, and that's a foul.
No call by Olven Oliva, and now it's Ritchie taking advantage on the near side, using his speed to drive forward. Zerakostas in the box. Oh, can't quite pick him out. Nor can pick out Tequila. No one at the back post to try and pick up the loose ball. Waldeck to Lewis.
But also in these situations, you need more positive. That's a fantastic ball from Lewis. But again, just a bit sloppy, unable to retain possession. Because as Knoxville, they want to be expansive. They want to commit a lot of numbers forward. So if you do force the turnover, your first pass needs to be into the path of Darling. And how good can he be at holding up the ball?
Some trends on the season for Knoxville and Spokane when scoring or conceding first. Knoxville 7 wins, 1 draw in the 8 games they've scored the opening goal in the League One season so far. All 7 of their wins in the league have come in matches they've scored first. And at home, 4 wins in all 4 games they've scored first. That's going to be a foul from behind, a free kick going against Spokane, much to the frustrations of Jack Denton. The referee will go to his pocket for the very first time, issue a yellow card the way of the velocity. It's going to be Denton who is booked.
Him and Louis will come in and just take out the legs of Zeracostas. Fantastic bit of explosiveness from the attacking player. Big challenge for Jack Denton in terms of his positioning and decision-making for the remainder of this match.
That's a free kick for Knoxville. Standing over it, Callum Johnson. Johnson, right-footed delivery. Off his line, Thompson punches it away. The shot, oh, what an important header by Longmire. It sits up, and the header by Haugley, he couldn't control it down. It's pushed away, but Brooks Thompson almost palming that right into danger. Flipped forward, Haugley gets ahead to it. Darling, now to Lewis. Kale, far side. Lewis, get back to that half chance in a moment for Knoxville. And Spokane on the attack. Heel. Merrill, heel. Given some space. His pass, though, blocked out.
But just look at the lack of numbers for Spokane high up the field, Jack.
Ross chased down, though, by Denton.
Only Josh Doling versus about 5'1" Knoxville players. So Akali needs to come centrally a little bit more. Be more connected with his striker. That's been the problem. Doling has been on an island for the most of the big majority of this first half.
Lewis back to Longmire. Knoxville content to allow the visitors to have the ball in these areas. Denton looking upfield. Lewis now. Tequila pressing. Zeracostas joined as well. Played it across to Denton. Kale dropping deeper than Waldeck. The fullback makes the run forward, but it's intercepted. Thomas. Ross. Pass intercepted by Waldeck, tracking back. All the way back now to Thompson. Slid in. Darling gets there. Forced away by the challenge. Skelton. Made an entry into that 18-yard box, but it's back to Jome. Darling receiving it quite deep. Raise it over to Waldeck. No one in the box to aim for. Here's Akale. They wanted an offsides flag to go up. It's Waldeck. Longmire. Narrow. Right-footed delivery, headed away by Fernandez. Tequila now, cushions it. Carrying it away, Zeracostas, and trying to just win with his legs on his own. His opposite number, though, coming across. Longmire, back to Thompson now.
About the third time now for Spokane. When you get this ball wide, you need your weak side attacker to join Darling and get himself in a dangerous area. No real options for Lead Wiedemann to play into. Makes life very easy for one Knoxville in terms of their box defending.
Near side, Merrill. Long sequence here, but he turns the pass over. Quick passing. Haugley moves it to the far side, or near side rather. Zaracostas, who's popped up everywhere he needs to be in this first half for Knoxville. Both forwards very fluid as a front two. Fernandez, now Skelton. Fernandez. 7 minutes until we hit stoppage time. Out of a moment or two of it. Just the one goal coming from Kempis Tequila. Waldeck stepping forward, wins the header. Akale, a few options with him, including Waldeck. Far side, first time delivery with the left foot, heel the target. He got ahead to it, climbed up highest. It comes out to be a goal kick, much to the frustrations of the captain.
The first time that we've seen two options for Spokane. Waldeck does really well to join the attack as an outside back. Also the quality on the service. I'll tell you what, it does take a deflection off of Fernandez. USL does everything right, clear as day. If you for the frustration for the captain for the visiting side.
Comes out to be a goal kick in the end. Long ball forward. Tequila wins the header. There's Thomas. Just tossing one up for Zaracostas to chase. The header down, Zaracostas taking a lot of interest. But Brooks Thompson had a great starting position to make sure nothing bad came from that.
Flawless positioning from the goalkeeper. Especially when one of your three center backs is in a duel, always have to provide an option.
Referee calling that back for a free kick. I think to the frustration of Waldeck, that might have been a moment for an advantage to be played.
Agreed.
Darling was knocked down, certainly a foul, but in the end the referee opting. Pull it back. Will be a yellow card out though, which may lay some concerns. Rather, it's going to be for Luis Heel. Was assuming that it was going to be on a Knoxville player, but the referee indicating it was for the clapping.
Has to be for dissent.
Yeah.
Luis Heel.
I was halfway through saying they'll appreciate that it was a foul because there's a yellow for Knoxville, but it's their captain instead who's booked, Luis Heel. Sent a big focus for referees, persistent fouling and infringement. Trying at all levels of the game, stamp down on that. There is a free kick now for Spokane after a brief pause. Both Waldeck and Heel standing over it. Maybe a chance to get back into the game. Heel stands the delivery up. The header down across the box, right in the 6-yard box. Not able to shape a shot towards goal. Anywhere will do on the clearance, and it goes right back to the free kick taker in Heel. Longmire. The delivery into the box, all the way through. Lewis couldn't claim either. Played forward, Tequila. Trying to keep it in play, but it's pushed out by Merrill. Earns the throw for his side.
And that is a fantastic ball in from Jome. Right where you need it to be, on top of that 6-yard box, that gray area between the back line.
Lewis from distance. Brave from Skelton, just got a chest to it. You'll feel the effects of that one in the next few moments, but blocks it out for a goal kick, or corner kick rather.
And then you start to see the confidence starting to grow a little bit for this Spokane velocity side. Getting numbers higher up the field, putting more pressure on the back line of one Knoxville. Set pieces are a fantastic way to claw yourself through this when you're not creating through the run of play.
Waldeck takes over corner duties from Heel. Quick word in the 6-yard box. Doesn't want too much pushing and shoving. 2.5 until the end of our first 45 minutes. It's Waldeck. Delivery doesn't beat the first man. It's pushed away. Waldeck was an integral part of the 2023 campaign for One Knox. Led the side in assists. Heel curls it forward, pushed away. Akale has a run to his far side. It's Jome right into the box. Strong header down by Skelton. Spokane getting into the 6-yard box, into the 18-yard box with a bit of success. Not able to get a shot when they get there.
I think if you're Lee Wiedemann, you take the positive from it that you have options now. More targets to play into.
Akale to the end line, into the box. Unorthodox way to block that out of play, but it does the job. Another corner to come.
But it's really difficult to break through this One Knoxville side. About 9 players in their defensive box. You get the feeling for Ilya Illich, the side that has been so good through this 2024 campaign. They just love defending. They love working together. They love to be a unit collectively. And we've seen that, only conceding 10 times.
Heel. Into the back post, a few options, but Lewis snuffs it out, claims that. Important from the goalkeeper to climb highest and claim. Such a dependable force in net for One Knoxville. Great foundation for them to build their first 2 seasons on here at the League One level. Fernandez. Lewis again. See if Knoxville try and push forward for maybe one more attack before we hit halftime, or if they're content to head into the break with their current 1-0 edge. 5 times in League One this season, Spokane have conceded first, and never in their club's history have they come from behind to earn the 3 points. Come back to get a draw twice. A hard challenge ahead of them, carrying it forward. The pass under hit. Merrill gets there. Heel flicks it along with the head, but only finds Fernandez. Far side now, moved along. Thomas, Tequila closest to him. Three minutes of added time as we hit the end of our first 45. Campus Tequila. No assist credited. They're saying the one that officially got the ball across the goal line was that right-footed shot on the rebound. So despite some really good work in the build-up, no Knoxville player will be credited with an assist in that sequence. Tequila. Bounce kindly out wide to Thomas. The delivery in the box, aiming for Tequila. What a save by Thompson. Stayed big. It goes out of play. A corner to come, but Kempis Tequila continuing to be a nuisance for the Spokane back line.
But just has so much real estate to operate in. It's a lack of shape for Spokane, whether it's that 2 midfielders stopping a bit high, and the back line not being aggressive enough. But as his ball rotates over, fantastic delivery yet again from Thomas off the shoulder of Lodge. Never sees him. Some save from Thompson, comes off his line really quickly. But how good has Tequila been? Understanding the types of runs that are needed in around that 18-yard box.
Another chance from a set piece, whipped into the box. It's controlled in the 6-yard box. The shot, what a save again by Brooks Thompson, coming up huge in first half stoppage time. Howgley pounding the ground. He thought that was a chance for his first goal in League One play.
And talk about the technical ability from Zarakostas as well. Takes that first touch extremely nice. As the ball pops out, a lot of bodies in front of Thompson makes it look a lot easier than what it is.
Thomas, Tequila on the short corner routine, clipped into the box, headed away, easy defend in the end. Tequila actually put in a defensive shift, wins the ball back, and no whistle. Doling, the opposing striker, also puts a challenge in. And it's back now to Spokane. Survive 2 solid chances for Knoxville. Waldeck Here's Akale. Denton. Final few seconds. Here's Merrill. No delivery. Easy in the end for Fernandez to step in front of. Now Zaracostas. Kind of puts his hands out and says, where are my options? And sprinting forward to offer one was Fernandez.
Just look how stretched out this Spokane side is. I think they're getting caught in between a grain area. Are we going to press high, or are we going to drop in a little bit deeper into a mid to low block? Whatever decision that you want to implement, you need to be compact in your structure while doing it. Too many times that front three is stepping a little bit high. Now you're asking Andre Lewis and Jack Denton just to cover so much ground. I think that's going to be the biggest talking point for Lee Wiedemann. Your structure on the ball, off the ball. On the other side for Ilya Illich and this one Knoxville side, continue to stay patient. Get this young man on the ball as well. And Zaracostas and Ross, those three players have been fantastic for the home side.
It's Kempis Tequila who has the lone goal of our first 45 minutes between one Knoxville and the Spokane Velocity. Well, we're into halftime now after our first 45 minutes. Some halftime content to come. We'll get you geared up all across the USL League One as we enter into week 18. A very strong first 45 minutes for one Knoxville, trying to make it 2 wins in 2 under interim man Ilya Illich. Our score at halftime, it's 1 Knoxville 1, Spokane Velocity 0.
Well, kids, our lives are going to be different now. It was part of our family for so long. This is just part of growing up.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad to see it go.
Yeah, me too. Let's go inside. It is muggy out here.
Say goodbye to the loading bar and say hello to KUB Fiber. With up to 10 gig speed, it could be the end of waiting as we know it. The world's fastest internet, only from KUB.
Backyard staycations begin with Earthadelic, transforming outdoor spaces into your own relaxing oasis. From custom design to superior installation, our team is dedicated to providing the highest level of quality and craftsmanship with every one-of-a-kind project. Earthadelic offers stunning, resort-worthy outdoor living that will be uniquely suited for your home, delivering a complete turnkey work of art in your backyard. Earthadelic, surpassing expectations and creating the outdoor paradise you've always dreamed of. Contact us today to schedule your consultation.
Welcome back to Knoxville. Our score at the half, it's 1 Knoxville 1, Spokane Velocity 0. Let's flash back now to week 17 and see what happened last week in the USL League One.
Dimmitt pops this one inside. Belmore saved. Bert Shipman sprawling out for that one. Here's a moment right here. Gebhard takes the shot himself, but couldn't quite pick a side. Austin Pack didn't have to shift for that one. Returned right back out to him. Vigneault's service curling in. Still in the fray of things, and it's in the back of the net. Ryan Sierakowski on his back. There's some tight passing. This one slips through for Velasquez, and it's into the back of the net. And look who it is. The answer has been called.
Taken quickly into Tequila. Tequila has a go and finds Pater. On the front foot, Jordan Skelton. Tequila. Zaracostas! Tequila without swing. Toward goal, knocked down on the line, and a point to the spot. It's a handball. A reach for the back pocket, and it's a nightmare for Chattanooga. Tequila. Oh, that's cheeky. Circulating play back into the feet of Leopoldo Hernandez. A good ball in. Shots flared towards goal and somehow trickles in.
Turnover for Lexington. Cam Lancaster takes a drive, and that one finds its way through.
Goal scored by Lexington.
Cam Lancaster opens up the scoring 4 minutes in. As mentioned earlier, all night. Also got a yellow early on as well. Long range try finds its way through again. Set pieces as well. Lancaster goes for net, and that was stopped by Avalos. Rebound, scores!
Goal scored by
Alexis Cerritos, he comes back to Central Valley. 8 minutes to go in regulation. Glance off the wall, and that one finds its way through for Central Valley. They get their first off of the set piece. Jose Carrera Garcia off of the service.
It's Ethan Horde bearing through on goal. A number of black shirts in the area. Goes down. Hernandez drives it home. Northern Colorado down a man, up a goal. As the super sub strikes once again. Thorne, one final cross. Floated into the heart of the area. It falls for Killwine, darts it across, and it did cross the line. Tormenta finds the equalizer.
A dramatic finish for Tormenta to wrap up Week 17 highlights. What a win it was for one Knoxville. They're trying to see out the result here. It's currently halftime. 1 Knoxville 1, Spokane 0.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
This is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of a movement, and this is our moment.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Deciding to go right up through the middle. A shot. Wow!
Long range shot from Nordy, stopped, and that one trickles in.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
More USL League One halftime content to come. 1 Knoxville 1, Spokane Velocity 0. A massive way to kick off Week 18 in League One. Some news and notes from across the league. some big developments across the USL ecosystem as well. The Super Leagues, Carolina Ascent and Spokane Zephyr both selling out their stadiums to kick off the inaugural season. And for AV Alta in Lancaster, California, their 5,300-seat soccer-specific stadium approved by City Council. And too much tequila to handle, Ricky. League One Player of the Week with 2 goals, 1 assist. He's proven to be too much in the match. Here today, he's got the lone goal, but he headlined the Team of the Week, might be the Player of the Week with his 2-goal, 1-assist performance in that match against Chattanooga. Here is that Team of the Week from Week 17. A duo up front for one Knoxville with Zarakostas, the 1-goal, 1-assist in his debut. Great to see up front for Knoxville.
Stuart Ritchie as well for one Knoxville was the one that created the goal for Tequila. Sebastian Velasquez gets his first goal for Greenville Triumph, one of the headliners coming into this 2024 campaign. He's going to be one that if he gets going, this Greenville Triumph side is going to be a force to be reckoned with once playoffs come around the corner.
Darren Powell, the coach of the week for Week 17 as they continue to try and rise back up the standings. Now looking ahead at the schedule to come this week here in the USL League One. Tomorrow, Charlotte and Central Valley Fuego, Lexington, Forward Madison, Omaha, Richmond, and then rounding out the weekend with Northern Colorado taking on Greenville. With this current result as it holds, one Knoxville will go top of the table, and they'll be looking at what else can happen around them elsewhere. Omaha could try and go joint top as well. Lexington against Forward Madison, another team in Madison that could also push towards the top of the table, as Lexington are 4 points off the playoff line. Looking even further ahead in the USL League One season, going beyond just this weekend and looking at the weekend to come. Looking at that Spokane Velocity versus Omaha game on CBS Sports Network, a big one to look forward to for Spokane and Omaha. They also play against Greenville a few days later on the weekend. Knoxville's their next game is against Charlotte, Northern Colorado against Lexington, Chattanooga against Madison, and Spokane against Central Valley Fuego. The upcoming schedule beyond this weekend in the USL League One. We've got one more break. On the other side, we'll recap that goal for Campus Tequila and get you geared up for the second half between Knoxville and Spokane on the other side of this break.
KUB Fiber. It's the fastest internet in the world.
Seriously?
Seriously. Up to 10 gig speed with no contracts and no hidden fees. Let's see the other guys try to match that. The world's fastest internet, only from KUB.
The all-new Volkswagen ID4 SUV is truly something to behold. On the outside, clean aerodynamic lines. On the inside, plenty of room with a spacious, comfortable cabin. It will transform how you think about electric cars. Now available at Harper Volkswagen and at harpervolkswagen.com.
Welcome back to Regal Soccer Stadium. One Knoxville and Spokane, the first ever meeting between the two sides. Campus Tequila opening the score as we get back underway on CBS Sports Golazo. Jack Edwards, Ricky Lopez-Espin here as we enter our first half highlights. One Knoxville and Spokane. It was a solid start, Ricky, for Spokane. A few chances for them, some half chances, but chances nonetheless.
We talked about this Spokane side, how comfortable they are away from home. Longmire unable to really test Lewis here, but he does really well. Creates that first touch to create a little bit of separation, but in the end, it's an easy save for the goalkeeper for Knox, and they weren't done yet. this Spokane side, understanding that if we get numbers forward, we can ask a lot of questions of this back line, but just not enough power from Akali to really trouble Lewis here.
On the flip side, Knoxville beginning to grow into the match, and a big central point was Frank Ross being very creative here on the near side. The low delivery finds Tequila, whose shot saved.
It just seems like he has the freedom just to go and search the game, but as he pulls out wide, now it's Tequila, the secondary movement that's been causing issues for Spokane. Fantastic ball in from Richie, and now you have Zarakostas. Now the patience comes in, the composure, head up the whole way, and as he brings in 2 players, now you have a little bit of an overload. As Tequila gets involved, Thomas comes out the back post. Second bite at the apple for Tequila. 7 goals coming into this game, gets his 8th, and gives Knoxville the 1-0 lead coming into halftime.
Big goal from Tequila. First half stats on your screen now. 8-5, the shots going the way of Knoxville. Possession very even. It's been an even match in a lot of these numbers, but that important goal from Tequila.
I do think for Spokane velocity, you just need to be better on the ball, quicker, decisive decision making as well, and play a little bit more vertical. Too many times it was horizontally, and when you get to that final third, how clinical can you be? Big talking point for Lee Wiedemann.
Those are your halftime highlights, your halftime stats. Halftime is almost over. Kempis Tequila, the leading man for this team, now with 8 goals on the season. Mentioned it already, joint second now in the league. It's been a fantastic year for him since coming in from Luxembourg, played in Denmark and in Germany beforehand. The German native, 26 years of age. He's come in to massive success in his first season in the States. 2 teams are retaking the field. We may have a change or 2 to report on for the 2 teams. We'll let you know on that. But big tweaks for you, Ricky, that you would like to see for these 2 teams. For Knoxville, obviously leading, maybe less to do for them. But for Spokane, how do you try and get back into the game?
I do think it starts centrally for Andre Lewis and Jack Denton. That spacing needs to be a little bit better, and understanding that if we're going to go, you need to go quickly. But if you're going to drop off, you need to be compact in your structure as well. And also when you're in the ball, I want Andre Lewis to push a little bit higher. He has the quality to be a difference maker for Lee Wiedemann side. We'll see if that is the case in this next 45 minutes.
Coming on, Javier Martin Hill for Luke Merrill. Making that change in the right wing back position. Hill, first season as a pro after a collegiate career from 2019 to 2023. Olvin Oliva is still our head official. He gets us going with the first whistle of the second half. And heading from right to left now in the black kits are Spokane, and the white, the leading side, 1 Knoxville from left to right. And currently, as things stand, we mentioned it during halftime, but they are sat atop the USL League One as results currently stand. Jome, as you see confirmation of the sub. Merrill out, Hill in. More natural, like-for-like change in that right wing back role. Looks like the system will more or less stay the same for Spokane. Haugley back to Skelton.
Yet again, about 15 yards between lines for Spokane. If that front 4 need to go, then you're asking Longmire, Lodge, and Jome to be more aggressive and make this thing a little bit more compact and tighten things up. Too many times when Knoxville has the ability to pick up the ball in between lines, turn their hips, and run downhill.
And for a moment there, Denton committing the foul in the midfield. Already on a yellow card, a little worried that the referee may have been reaching for a pocket there, but definitely something to watch out for, one of those central midfielders for Spokane. As on the attack on the far side is Knoxville to Tequila. The first time shot again, trying to get it off. Always a tough angle, puts that one just wide.
Such a clever player in the spaces that he picks up, as he understands Richie's going to get in beyond this back line. Plays off the blind side. Lodge yet again never sees him at the last second. He shows up, but it's a really difficult angle. He likes to go with the toe poke of the right foot, unable to put it on target.
Johnson trying to control it. Tequila really does love that run, cutting across at that near post. Has had 2 shots come from it, 3 rather actually, on both sides coming in. And obviously the goal coming from a similar move. Flag stays down, onside, 1-on-1, what a save! Stepping up massively was Sean Lewis. The flag stayed down. It was a golden chance for Spokane, but Lewis steps up.
Bit of an underrated part of Josh Dalling's side is the ability to bring players in And this is the player that you wanted to fall to if you are Lee Wiedemann. Luis Hill does everything right, gets his first touch out of his body, has eyes for that far post, but it's a fantastic save from Lewis, how quickly he makes himself big to deny Luis Hill.
Waldeck in the corner. The header across frame, Longmire, he's got his head in his hands. It came to him kind of last minute at the back post, but his header ends up going wide. Goal kick now coming for Sean Lewis. What a save that was. How much this match could have changed. It was a really close onside call to make. Luis Hill just about onside according to the assistant referee, but you were just waiting for that flag to go up and it didn't. And all of a sudden it was a one-on-one. Here's Hill playing it forward.
Or those are the types of runs that you need from the players around Josh Doling, because as he comes to feet now, Skelton's going to step with him. That leaves a gap going back the other way. Need a little bit more verticality from the wide players.
First time delivery. Richie lofting it in. Zarakostas. Jome gets highest. And Waldeck took a bit of a poor first touch and has to just put it out of play for the throw. Better than the alternative being a corner. But still with Knoxville. Waldeck, again, just puts it out of play. Knoxville keeping some pressure in this attacking half. Tossed in. Jome, he'll let that one run out now for a goal kick. We saw it during halftime, looking ahead, but a USL League One matchup kicks off September coverage on the CBS Sports Network. Players Shield holder Union Omaha visits the newcomers, Spokane Velocity, in their first ever regular season clash. That's coming on September 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. That one's going to be a massive match with massive implications. Both of these teams, Omaha and Spokane, trying to push into playoff position. Omaha, a regular at the top of the USL League One table. Slid forward. Thomas, Zarakostas. Clever work to find it back to the fullback, but coming across with a big challenge. Marcelo Lage puts it into the crowd. The throw in for Knoxville. Owen gets a foot in. Still with Knoxville, who enjoyed just a ever so slight edge in possession in that first half, about 53%. Zarakostas puts a good challenge in. It's a foul. Expected goals number for Knoxville, 1.74. Boosted a lot by that tap in from close range by Tequila for sure. But some good quality chances in our match so far. Clever pass now, finds Akale. It's Spokane now. Waldeck. Low delivery, read by Chrysler. Darling tracking back to try and make life difficult. In the process, commits the foul.
Just too predictable. It's not like a broken record for Spokane. Need more numbers high up the field. Makes life very easy for this back three just to man mark the two players and then the freed one just to go and search the game. Chrysler does very well. Understand that Josh Darling's going to come to feet. Let me just step into it, intercept the ball. As this ball rotates across, now you're asking Akale or one of the outside backs to get more involved in the attack.
Haugley to Fernandez. Thomas. This is former teammate Waldeck, one-on-one, meeting on that far side, or near side rather. Thomas had a bit of an injury-struck 2023 campaign. Didn't take the field as much as he may have liked with Waldeck, but driving forward now, finding the left wing-back replacement for Waldeck. The flag, though, does go up for Stuart Ritchie. And Waldeck made the move to Spokane. It was important to bring in a replacement. They brought in Richie. He's been very influential in our match so far today.
You play that wing back role, just so important to be decisive and disciplined when you pick and choose your times when to join the attack, but also have the ability to do your defensive duties. Stuart Ritchie has been fantastic for the home side.
Jome trying to drop that pass in for Waldeck, a tough one to execute. It goes out for a Knoxville throw. How much has the job changed for a wingback when you have a match like this, where it's a pair of back fives with wingbacks, and there are just players naturally going one-on-one on the far side?
I think now that's when you have to impose your identity, right? If you step a little bit higher, now you pin back the opposing wingback. The result of that, now you have more space centrally. So when you play against teams that both have similar tactical formations, now who's going to win your individual duels? That's what it comes down to. Be those difference makers.
Driving forward, Fernandez has Richie to the left. Also a few options in the box. Richie now that has a chance to try and aim for them. It's Johnson. That's a great pass. Fernandez still with it in the box. Overruns it a little bit. Out now for a goal kick. Kingsford Ajay is preparing to enter into the match. That will likely happen at the next dead ball a few moments after that. You mentioned winning the duels, Ricky. It's a big emphasis at all levels of the game, just winning those individual duels up and down the field. You'd probably say Knoxville have done a better job of that in our first 55 minutes so far as they attack here. Now Tequila, already one goal, lays it off for Thomas. Slow delivery, it bounces up, and Waldeck can clear it away. Add some numbers into the attacking 18-yard box, Knoxville did. No chance, though.
The positive thing for Lead Wiedemann is, yes, it hasn't been your best performance in terms of the game plan, but still, you're only down 1-0. It takes one single action to get this thing 1-1.
Frank Ross was the lone change from last match's starting lineup to this one. He comes off now and braces with Ilya Illich. Coming in his place, Kingsford Ajay. Still waiting for his first goal in League One play for his new side. He's coming in from Tormenta, where he tore things up in 2022 to 23. 59 appearances, 10 goals, winning the title back in 2022. He'll join that attack alongside Zero Costas and Tequila. Forward, Akale trying an ambitious first touch, not able to win out on the challenge. The duel won by Chrysler. Fired into Haugley, pressed quickly. Johnson loses out. What can Spokane do here? Lewis, just a poor pass in the end. Fernandez stepping forward, has Ajay to his left-hand side. The first touch is now for the substitute, driving at the defense. Taken over though, Longmire gets ahead. Hill upfield. Darling now gets to heel, the back heel. First time, finds his striker. Now Lewis. Numbers stretched a little bit for Knoxville, but a good challenge put in by Johnson. Allow them to get set defensively as Lewis takes it. Darling now, thought about maybe a shot from distance. Lays it off instead for heel. Rolled to Denton. The attack there, Ricky breaking down. One of the key moments, Knoxville able to get numbers behind the ball.
Just too slow. And you can hear the Spokane bench barking at the players on the field, get into the box, have a bit of a more of a tempo to your play, especially against a team that's just so good defensively. If you get any half opportunity, you have to take it. Will not be surprised if we see Lead Wiedemann dip into his bench sooner rather than later and just give a different look to this game. Colin Fernandez, Monty Smith, two players that can come on and make a difference.
It was a foul. Referee played advantage for a moment. In the end, after it was turned over by Lewis, pulled it back now for a free kick. It's a quick word as well. can see from the gesture there to Zerakostas, the number of his fouls has caught the attention of Olven Oliva, and he's saying the next foul will result in a yellow card for the Greek forward. This is a free kick in a very intriguing position. See again, as we gear up for it, the foul that has preceded it. And Zerakostas just doesn't get that one right.
Just a bit overzealous. Zerakostas, no need. Just move your feet. Make Andre Lewis play negative. Your job's done.
Derek Waldeck stands over it with the left foot. A number of options lined up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Sean Lewis between the pipes for Knoxville. Scooped forward by Waldeck. Longmire, the header at the back post, and he finds the back of the net. A great set piece from Spokane, and they find the equalizer. Ahmed Longmire, his third goal in League One. It's 1-1.
We talked about the importance of set pieces, especially on the road. When you're not creating through the run of play, you slow the game down, you get your bodies higher up the field, and you put in a quality service. You tell one of your three center backs to go up and get it. Times it to perfection. Off the shoulder of Fernandez, and Skelton never sees him, and it's a textbook header. Low into the ground is what you're taught, because it's a nightmare for goalkeepers to deal with. In the blink of an eye, Spokane makes this 1-1.
Sub now, Denton comes out, Colin Fernandez comes in. That was a sub they were preparing before that free kick. And that foul by Zerakostas really coming back to bite Knoxville. Kind of out of nothing, a little bit against the run of play. Spokane find a great chance, the best they've had all match so far, and it's 1-1. Great finish by the center back with the head, the Las Vegas native.
I'm just talking about it, Jack, as well. One action, you bring this game to even yet again. The danger of this one Knoxville side, you have opportunities, you don't get that second goal, you don't close the door, and now you give this side a bit of confidence.
We're back even.
Colin Fernandez comes in now a bit more balanced. Centrally, he's going to be a little bit more deeper. So a result of that, Andre Lewis now has the freedom to go and play a little bit higher, as we already see.
Skelton back now to Lewis. Johnson.
Keep organizing there. Keep organizing. It's coming.
First goal for Longmire since only back in April against Lexington. Dropped forward Thomas. A good first header. Waldeck, though, stayed diligent, stayed with it. Slid in, concedes the corner kick.
Flawless positioning from Waldeck. As Thomas takes that touch across his body, leaves his feet right when he needs to.
Again, confirmation, Fernandez on for Denton. Denton was on a yellow card. Definitely probably a thought for Wiedemann. Make sure that one of his central midfielders doesn't have to really hold back on those challenges right in the heart of midfield. Here's Tequila. His goal has been canceled out. It's a corner now with the match at 1-1. Tequila into the back post, the header, an important block. It does go out though in the end for a goal kick. Fernandez winning at the back post. Nearly a solid chance.
It's a good ball in from Tequila. Enough pace and enough English on it between Fernandez and Lodge.
Waldeck challenges for that header. This is the initial touch, but at last touches the center back from Knoxville. Chrysler, 12th appearance of the season. 27 appearances back in 2023. Returning Chrysler and Skelton, as well as Danny Fernandez, returning a lot of the core of that defense for Knoxville. We showed you in the open how good defensively they were last year. Their struggles came in the attacking third, joint fewest goals in the league in 2023. Until that 4-goal outpouring against Chattanooga, their per-game average in 2024 was also the bottom in the league. But defensively, they have been very difficult to score against. But Longmire found the key to unlock things with the set piece. Thomas concedes a throw in.
And it's going to be a frustrating one for Ilya Illich to concede. The player in his own right, because that's just not tactical play. That's not through the run of play. That's just pure willingness. Players losing their individual battles that we've talked about. You lose your man mark. Now you tie this thing 1-1.
Ajay fires it into the feet of Zarokostas. Jom gets a foot in, and now it's Lewis. Bit of space to try and drive into. He has on the far side, Hill. Jom to the goal scorer, Longmire. That's Fernandez in the heart of midfield. Longmire. Knoxville penned in a little these last few moments. Spokane, definitely a confidence boost that they've gotten from that goal.
To seem to be a bit more calm on the ball as well. Understanding that we do not need to go route one every single time. Play what the game is giving us and take the game away from one Knoxville.
Lewis steps past the challenge, trying to slide it into the box, finds Heel. Picked up by Sean Lewis. Really challenging one for Heel to try and get a lot of serious venom behind. "25 minutes plus stoppage time left in our match here today. Jack Edwards, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here on CBS Sports Golazo. We appreciate you spending your Friday night with us as Knoxville and Spokane meet for the first ever time. Kempis Tequila, Ahmed Longmire, the goal scorers for these two sides. Spokane, in their 4 matches they've trailed at halftime in their League One history, have never come back to earn a win. Twice they've come back to get a draw at the very least. They've gotten step one as Thomas flicks that along. Tequila trying Johnson, the flick on header. Always a challenge to try and pull off, and Johnson puts it out of play. Throw in comes from it. Waldeck got the assist against his former side with a really well dropped in free kick. His first assist of the USL League One season. Ajay, the switch, drops it in for Thomas. Right-footed delivery into the area, headed away by Lodge. Waldeck has to get it away, and he does well to find Akale. He's got 2 around him in white, and Zarokostas fouls him from behind. The referee, after taking a beat, will book Zarokostas. Was wondering for a moment there if would follow through, and the home crowd very frustrated with that, but the referee had indicated at the last Zarokostas foul, the next one he committed would be a yellow card, and if he's seeking the foul here, it's soft, but considering the foul number of fouls he's committed, it's a yellow card.
The consistent versus
infringement.
Infringement, there you go. From Zarokostas that gets him in trouble, like you said, Jack.
I like to think persistent, consistent infringement, and it twists the tongue. Zarokostas with the yellow card. But that is good execution from the referee, calling that out, and making sure he did come back to it. There was a moment there where you wondered maybe he would get away from him, but Zarokostas booked in the end. And that's the first assist as well for Derek Waldeck. He had 6 last year for Knoxville, and again, a side that didn't score too many goals. They scored just 36 goals, so he assisted, what is that, 1/6 of the goals they scored? His first assist now.
That's good math.
I appreciate that.
Do you have a calculator over there or something?
No, that was off the dome. First assist now for Spokane. They would love for him to become the creative threat he has shown that he can be. Looking back at the 2021 season, he had 4 assists for North Texas. Zarokostas loses out. The challenge from behind by Fernandez.
Really good ball.
Darling. Akale over his left shoulder. Rolls it into him, maybe a little overhit, and in the end, Chrysler does very well to get across. See it out for the goal kick.
You just see Darling putting up his head, Trying to apologize. When there's a 2v1, the top priority now for the attacking player is to engage the defender, make him step into you, and when he steps into you, that's when you play into the path of a collate. Once you play a little bit too early, you play into the hands of the center back just to come across and win that individual battle.
Kempis Tequila and Stavros Zerakostas will make way. Coming in now, Angelo Kelly Rosales and Gio Calixtro. So the two starting forwards for Knoxville coming out of the match. Kelly Rosales, a player who definitely can play between the lines. A bit further forward, has 3 goals, 2 assists, had a great start to the season. Was the USL League One Player of the Month for the month of March. And Gio Calixtro made 15 appearances last season, scored 1 goal. Hoping to really kick into life for Knoxville. They make the 2 changes up front. They get some fresh legs, and they'll immediately put them into the action here. Ajay dropped into him. He gets it out of his chest. A few players around him. Calixtro took it off his foot, and it's blocked there. I think just a miscommunication between those 2 forwards.
More importantly now for Ilya Ilic, now you give Ajay the ability just to spearhead the attack, and he's going to stretch his back line. As he continues to make those vertical runs, now Spokane needs to make a decision. Are they going to drop off? And if they do, Angelo Kelly can really hurt you in between the lines. It's a good tactical sub from Ilya Ilic, understanding where the space is and how can you hurt your opponents here.
That's a miss hit there by Jome. Calixtro gets it out of his feet. Into the box, all through everybody. You saw the run being made by Ajay. Calixtro trying to almost apologize for taking the ball off him a few moments ago. Richie into the box. Strong header away by Lodge, but only finds one for Knoxville. Now Thomas. He had some space to have a go, but he opts to slide it to Johnson. He finds the feet of his midfield partner in Haugley, but he took a bit of a heavy touch. And back now to Skelton. Just flashing back to that coming together between Ajay and Calixtro. What do you do there if you're Calixtro and you're trying not to get in the way of your teammate, but also try and stay on the ball there?
I think it's communication. It's simple enough for Ajay. You need to be barking at your teammate to leave it. Someone to take the initiative in that action.
Shift, Cullen. Sango shift with Cullen.
70th minute here. 2 changes made by Spokane, 3 still to make for them if they would like for Lee Wiedemann and company. Cushion down now. Back now to Lewis. As we say that, we're hearing Spokane preparing 2 more subs to make. Would have 1 more to make on top of that. Knoxville, 1 more sub period to make the 2 subs they have remaining, should they wish to, for Ilya Ilic. Just match number 2 for Ilic. Coming in for Mark McKeever, let go August 15th. Johnson looks at his options. Check it back to Angelo Kelly. Johnson dropped off the ball, scooped forward by Kelly. Ilic, would say this is the first big test of his interim head coaching career. Had a 3-0 lead within a half hour against a 10-man Chattanooga last time. Match that about as close you can get to being over after just a half hour. This one all to play for, as we're even at 1-1. Playing under Mark McKeever at the college level. His first time in the United States at Young Harris College from 2011 to 2014. Last year, an assistant and a player as Kelly's shot blocked, and it spins for a corner kick. Ilic, also a 2-time USL Cup champion with Louisville City back in 2017 and 2018. A teammate for these players last season, a coach with them as well last year. Now their interim head coach, as Callum Johnson, will go across to the far side and take this corner kick. Johnson. His delivery headed away by Heel. Akale puts this one up and away. Bounces for Chrysler. Give him some time to pick up his head, drops it forward, and Thompson comes up and claims. Waldeck to Jome. Joe. It's slid into the midfield. Look ahead for USL Championship Soccer, which continues on the ESPN networks in September. The Western Conference matchup of teams fighting to cross the playoff line. Last season's champion Phoenix Rising hosts FC Tulsa Friday, September 6th at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Those teams, some games in hand right now, right just below that Western Conference playoff line. We're getting to that home stretch here in 2024.
Said it in the open of this game. Stays true for USL Championship. Every single point matters, home or away, as you get to the back half of the season.
Into the midfield. The turn, the foul committed. Coming forward, I believe Lage is comfortable to have that foul right in the midfield, and that will cue 2 subs now to take place. Azriel Gonzalez will be coming into the match now, making his way off. Masango Akale had a few moments, but was a challenging match for him in that attacking area. Kamarni Smith as well, looking to come into the match. Making way will be Josh Darling. No change in the attacking area for Spokane.
It's going to be a different look now on the front line for Lead Wiedemann. Monty Smith will play centrally, and much like Ajay, he has the ability to stretch this back line and run in beyond. Josh Dowling, more of a back-to-goal number 9, likes to bring players in and be a stand-up striker. See the frustration from him. Didn't really make his impact felt as much. Big opportunity for Kermani Smith.
Ajay, a few options with him, but Lewis comes across, takes it away. 15 minutes still to play. Lofted forward, first touch potentially for Smith. Who's out on the header to Skelton. Looking for his first goal for his new side, the English forward is. Great collegiate clear at Clemson. Ajay. Lays it off. Here's Kelly. Gets it onto the right foot. Kelly from distance, and it goes just wide. He has that in his locker, those shots from distance. He's used to leathering them, trying to place that one. It goes just wide.
My question is this a foul on Andre Lewis? Watch how quickly Angelo Kelly stands him up, and he takes that horizontal touch. There's a little bit of contact. And I do think if he goes down before he takes a shot, it's a foul. And as he continues his momentum, really difficult to get it back on target.
Brooks Thompson, 22-year-old Floyd Knobs, Indiana native. That's going to be a foul from behind. James Thomas going to the back of Derek Waldeck. No love shown for his former teammate. Waldeck, a bit of a grin, getting back up to his feet. Waldeck, a very experienced League One player at this point now in his career. Just still 25, but he's played for North Texas, Greenville Triumph, as well as One Knoxville. It's now his 4th club in League One. Longmire. Switch it to his center back on the opposite side. Waldeck. It's blocked out of play. Rolled across. Lewis. Heel. Lewis from the top of the box takes a deflection, goes out of play. You could see his eyes go wide when that one was rolled to him at the top of the box. The shot though low, blocked, corner to come.
It's a fantastic ball in from Martin Heel. Because as you have numbers high up the field, now you pin back this one Knoxville side. And where's the space? They cut back. We're about 20 yards out. You do not need to hit it hard. Let momentum do its thing. Get clean contact. And you can really ask some questions of Lewis.
Waldeck already 1 assist today. High, arcing delivery into the box. Oh, that just went right to Jome. I think he may have expected it to fall a bit differently. It's cleared away though by Knoxville, so it's still with Spokane. They have a throw in on the near side. Kingsford big addition, but still looking for that important first goal. Could it be today? To retake the 3 points for them, they have lost it. Lewis. Slides it across. Here's Fernandez. Lewis. On the pass from Lodge. Dropping deep to receive Smith. These two teams kind of trading moments to control more possession. One side sits a bit deeper, other side controls it a bit higher, vice versa. Swinging back and forth right now, Spokane, the side of the ascendancy.
When Knoxville has every single player in their defensive half. So now if you're Spokane, how quickly can you change your point of attack? That's the way that you're going to unbalance this opponent's side. Also, the movement needs to be a little bit more decisive higher up the field, whether it is coming to feet.
Here we go. Chance potentially there. Kelly trying to press high up the field. Just maybe if it was a bit of a better touch, bouncing a bit kinder for Kelly. He'll trying the overhead kick to try and push it forward. It's a quick pass into midfield, springs Thomas free on the near side. Sits down one, still with it. Clipped into the box now, but no one at the back post to attack it. Bit of a risky touch by Lewis. Referee patting his chest. Not celebrating, just simply showing where Lewis touched it. Pushed along now, heel to Smith. Knoxville, very stretched heel. Kamarni Smith moves it near side. Gonzalez with the right foot. Brave block to get on the end of that by Chrysler. Blocks Gonzalez's shot, and it comes to a corner.
Really well done from Louis Heel. Head up, understanding it's a 3v3 going back to away. As your Kermani Smith. Where this ball back across. Just watch the positioning from Chrysler. Does not lunge in. Gets the right amount of distance. Then he has the ability to step in and just shuffle across. Flawless defending.
Waldeck again. It's been a big set piece threat all throughout our match here today. He's already got 1 set piece assist. In our second half, the match hangs in the balance. You get the feel that maybe 1 more goal would be enough for either side. Waldeck. Whipped into the box, punched away by Lewis. Now falls for Andre Lewis. He swings at it after it's cleared away. A bit of a late challenge. He was going for the ball, but he will be booked nonetheless. Thomas winning that challenge. Lewis going in strong, and as a result, he is booked. He's the lone player now still on the field that will be with a yellow card. See this one again, Ricky. Cleared away by Lewis, the good punch.
Just a bit awkward from Andre Lewis. He has every right to swing for this ball, but Thomas is just there before. Gets it all wrong. That will be Thomas's last action as Richie Ballard will come in.
Ballard coming on in place of Thomas. Illich saying, good work winning that one. Have a rest now for the final few moments. Thomas, again, was a threat going up and down that right flank. His delivery, though, at times letting him down. Here's Angelo Kelly. Another one of those second half subs made by Knoxville, who have used all 5 of the changes now. Skelton.
Talking out there with Kamani. Talking with Kamani.
Fernandez.
It does seem like Richard Ballard will play centrally and Angelo Kelly will pop off to the right-hand side now for 1 Knoxville. But if a different look in the attacking phase of the game.
Chrysler fires it forward. Ballard does slide it into the feet of Kelly. We'll take that position on the far side, or near side rather. Here's Ballard. Rolls it across. Johnson. Kelly. Lewis wins it back. Trying to immediately win it back was Kelly. Out of play. Last touched by Spokane. Waldeck was pressed tightly there, concedes it, and it's going to be a corner kick.
But it starts with Andre Lewis. It's just too casual, trying to dribble through 3 players. Take that long touch out of you, relieve some of the pressure, and as you play negative, now you put Waldeck in a really interesting and dangerous area. Do not have the luxury to continue to take touches and your time deep in your defensive third.
Johnson into the box. It'll go through everybody. Lewis swings and misses. Ajay rolls it across. Haugley. Whipped into the box. It bounces up. Cleared away.
Yes, Kamani. Yes, Kamani. That's you. That's you. Yes, Kamani.
Kamani. Smith chasing for it. It's headed out of play, and it's going to be a throw now for Spokane. Fifth and final change to be made now by Spokane. Making way, Derek Waldeck assisted that goal. Will come off now for Ariel Mumba. The final change made now. Both teams have made their switches. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. These are the players to see it out.
Really good shift from Waldeck, especially in that first half. Did a lot of the defending. We saw him ability to express himself and get forward in the second half. Ariel Mumba, player that has quality in his locker as well.
Mumba's first contribution. Throws out of play. Smith Kent got at the end of it.
Yes, what's the talking, yep. That's it. Yes. Ariel ready, Ariel ready. Yes, go on, go on. Good, Ariel, well done you, well done. Come on, yes.
Spokane throw in. Kelly immediately getting stuck into that challenge with Gonzalez. Big challenge put in as well there by Fernandez. Skelton. On a turn. Ballard coming across to defend was Fernandez. Has to keep this one in play. Cleared forward by Joan, but only finds Haugley. Ajay. Hold up play now from the forward. Good challenge by Lewis, pushes it away. Chrysler recycles possession. Back now to Ballard. Give him some space to drive into. Bit of a heavy touch though. He'll bounce back onto it. Top of the box. Calixto was the target. It's pushed away. Cleared forward. Kamani Smith can chase. Lewis will be there first. But Smith doing what a forward needs to do, chase that one down, even if it doesn't come to anything.
But it's a better understanding from Andre Lewis as well. Takes that first touch out of his body. Second one puts it into the path of Kamani Smith. The transitional game is going to be on as Spokane is under a lot of pressure to see this game out.
That one went out of play according to the assistant referee. It's going to be a throw-in now for Spokane. For these two teams, their focus is really about to narrow onto the USL League One only. Spokane, bottom of their group in the Jägermeister Cup. Knoxville, second bottom. Their only ways to advance at this point are through the goals scored tiebreaker. But those sides will be chasing Omaha with 13 goals scored, as well as Charlotte with 10 goals scored. Spokane and Knoxville both with 7 goals scored in their 7 Jägermeister Cup games. Just one more game of that still to play. The likelihood is, unless they have an absolutely unbelievable outpouring of goals in their final group game, it'll be just the remaining league games to look ahead to. That's a challenge that will result in a foul. There was a bit of a coming together after the fact, and taking exception to that was Callum Johnson, and it's going to be some pushing and shoving for Ova to leave it have to deal with, and he's whistling and pushing everybody away. It was a bit of a poor challenge from Colin Fernandez, and it was Callum Johnson who was really frustrated with the late challenge. See again with the frustrations. Maybe that foul initially, and then a second one here, and Johnson immediately goes in. Second one, important to say, was after the whistle had gone as well.
Bit of frustration from Colin Fernandez.
No yellow cards, it appears to be given out there. But we enter now into the 90th minute. Clipped into the box. Ajay, always a tough one when it sits up like that. Just gets the execution wrong, drags it wide.
Falls so kindly to Ajay. But it's a really difficult technique in terms of your patience and composure, because you need to let it drop, especially with the traffic oncoming. It's a bit overzealous. Swings too early and pulls it wide.
Brooks Thompson. Reset play with this goal kick. Some important saves made by both goalkeepers. 3 made by Lewis, 4 made by Thompson. So in the final seconds until we hit the 90. Header won by Haugley. You see the fourth fish on the bottom of your screen. 3 minutes added on at the end of our match today. Is there a chance for either team to try and take all 3 points? Or will they settle to split? Heel, flag goes up though. Offside position. If it ends like this, Ricky, at 1-1, do you think either side is happier or more frustrated with just the 1 point if it ends like this?
I think if you're Lee Wiedemann, really happier the two managers. Not easy to come into Knoxville and take any sort of result, especially with your performance put forth. Probably not the best that we've seen Spokane play in terms of the attacking prevalence. Haven't really created anything through the run of play, but yet you found a way to dig down deep to galvanize the troops and get a result here on a set piece. And for one, Knoxville, probably the more of the dangerous of the two sides, but did everything right getting themselves into the final third, but just lacking that last bit of quality to put more pressure on Thompson.
Joan plays it to Longmire. As it stands, is the last goal of our match today, and it's the equalizer for Spokane. Mumba. Gonzalez. Back to Lewis. You can see the run being made by Luis Heel. He gets onto it. He's in the 18. He's darting in front of a challenge there. That one should be an offside flag to be raised. It is indeed. Attacking that a bit late from an offside position was Azriel Gonzalez.
Luis Heel just seems a lot more comfortable when he plays underneath as a second forward, that number 10 role. Whether it's coming to feet to combine, but also how many times have we seen him make those runs down the channel and really test the shape of one Knoxville.
Chrysler. We're in the final minute of our stoppage time. Skelton rolls it off for Kelly. Is there one last roll of the dice? He slides it forward. Ballard pressed from behind. Moves it back centrally. A bounce for Fernandez. Played into the box. Johnson low, and it's just wide. It took a deflection along the way, so it's not quite the end of that threat as we thought. Spokane are furious. They thought that one did not take a deflection, and Callum Johnson has a chance on the corner as we tick past the 3 minutes. Added time on added time. As Callum Johnson lines this one up. Curled into the box. The header takes some bounces, but Brooks Thompson claims. And we have seen it all. That's full time for the first time ever between one Knoxville and the Spokane Velocity, and it finishes all even with a 1-1 draw.
I think it's a fair result for both managers. Ilya Illich, I thought he was really good in terms of his man managing the players that he brought on. And for Lee Friedman and company, like I said earlier, not the prettiest of games, but you were effective and you found a way to steal a point back home.
Our man of the match, presented by Alliance Brewing. It's a great ball forward, picked out Stavros Zerakostas, but in the end it would be the goal scorer, Kempis Tequila, who just pounces on the loose ball and knocks it home.
8th on the season, continues with his action, gets a second bite at the apple. Player of that quality is not going to miss from about 3 yards out. He was fantastic and a deserving man of the match, Tequila.
Tequila knocks that one home. The first goal of the match, it would end up being equalized by Ahmed Longmire, and the score finishes between one Knoxville and Spokane Velocity with a final score of 1-1. Thank you for joining us in the match here today. We'll have one last break on the other side. Full-time highlights and stats between these two sides as Knoxville and Spokane, in their first ever meeting, play things out to a 1-1 draw.
Dad, what was it like before KUB Fiber?
Well, there was fiber internet, but it wasn't always fast. If you wanted to download a game or a movie, you just have to wait for it.
Wait for it?
Honey, you're scaring him.
Say goodbye to waiting and say hello to KUB Fiber. True gig speed for just $65 a month. It's the world's fastest internet right here in East Tennessee, only from KUB.
Backyard staycations begin with Earthadelic, transforming outdoor spaces into your own relaxing oasis. From custom design to superior installation, our team is dedicated to providing the highest level of quality and craftsmanship with every one-of-a-kind project. Earthadelic offers stunning, resort-worthy outdoor living that will be uniquely suited for your home, delivering a complete turnkey work of art in your backyard. Earthadelic, surpassing expectations and creating the outdoor paradise you've always dreamed of. Contact us today to schedule your consultation.
Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee, here on CBS Sports Galazo. Jack Edwards, Ricky Lopez has been here with you. It's been a pleasure to be here all night long, rounding out the broadcast here today as one Knoxville and Spokane Velocity played out a 1-1 draw. That's one of the goal scorers right there, Kempis Tequila. Let's see the full-time highlights from our match here today between Knoxville and Spokane. An evenly matched showdown between these two sides, Ricky. We'll see now first half action. It was a great ball slid forward to find Stavros Zerakostas, and in the end, just put it in the mixer, see what happens.
I think it comes down to his patience as well, because so many times when players get into that situation, they take that first touch and just smack it across. But as he cuts down to the byline, now you open up the angle for Tequila. There's a crossover that one, and he makes sure it does on the second action. Gets his 8th on the season and give Knoxville the 1-0 lead here.
8 for Kempis Tequila. That was the score in the 27th minute. Jump now, second half, 47th minute. Spokane trying to find a way back into the game. This is a great ball picked out. Luis Heel. Flag stayed down. The one-on-one save made by Lewis.
I thought Luis Heel was really good at understanding the types of runs to make off of his number 9, but it's a fantastic save from Lewis and set pieces. We talked about it all evening, especially on the road. Fantastic ball in from Waldeck. Even better header from Longmire. Enough pace, nothing that Lewis can do. They steal a point. They tie this thing 1-1.
They dance their way for that goal, a full-time score of 1-1. Stats here, shots 14-13, possession very even. Final thoughts now from you, Ricky.
I think if you're Lee Biedman, you're the happier of the two managers to come into Knoxville and steal a point after you take a win against Chattanooga as well. We talked about them, how good they are on the road, who they want to be on both sides of the ball. And for Ilya Ilic, I thought he was a really good manager and understanding what the game gave him, the kind of subs that he made, all to play for in this next game, both of these clubs.
First time Ilya Ilic as an interim manager doesn't take all 3 points. It's a 1-1 draw at home in the first ever meeting between Spokane and Knoxville. A pleasure to share this match with you as always. For my broadcast partner Ricky Lopez-Espin and our entire production crew, I'm Jack Edwards. A full-time score for Knoxville and Spokane, a 1-1 draw. They look ahead now in the Jägermeister Cup at Tormenta for Knoxville, at Richmond for Spokane as they round out their Jägermeister Cup group play coming up in their next matches. It's been a pleasure to be here in Knoxville. A full-time score, Knoxville 1, Spokane Velocity 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.